Once upon a time, I had a crush on a pretty girl. I asked her out, and she said yes. The end. It's not a good story. It's not a good story. Once upon a time, there was a pretty girl. She had poofy, curly, brown hair, dark. When I say poofy, I mean huge. Normally wasn't that way. She normally kept it down. And when I saw her, all I could think is how confidently she walked. And as we chatted, the conversation flowed naturally, and I thought to myself, I want to ask this gorgeous, curly-haired, elegant beauty out on a date. But I gotta play it off cool, right? I can't just spring in there. I can't just say, hey, say yes. Can't do that. What I did is I created a fake Valentine's Day plan for her on part of her employer. What I did is I contacted her employer and said, hey, can you tell this delightful, gorgeous, curly-haired brunette she has an event that she has to attend. And if you can have it be at around 7:30 p.m.
Jaina versus Gul'dan.
That would be great, because I'm going to pick her up for dinner. Or more literally, I said 9 p.m. because I had a show. Employer said okay. Got it all set up. Got it all ready. Got done with the show, started driving over. And of course, there's a moment there where you think, it is Valentine's Day, and what if she doesn't want to go on a surprise date with me? That's an odd feeling, to be in your silver Honda Civic, to be cruising along the streets of LA, heading to the house of a beautiful girl. And what if I show up and she's like, yeah, no, let's be friends? Wouldn't that be sad?
Hey, give me that.
Wouldn't that be sad? I think that would be fucking sad. So I park, and of course So I Park is not just So I Park, this is LA, it was street parking. It took so long to find anywhere to goddamn park on these streets. I mean, Jesus. I mean, I don't know if you've ever, like, stapled a sheet of paper twice and then tried to get the third staple in between the other two. That's what it's like trying to park in Los Angeles. Ugh. 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 Finally get in there, and I'm walking, and I'm going, if she's like, let's just be friend, I'm gonna look like a dumb ass, but then I'm gonna go eat a steak dinner because I have reservations and I don't give a fuck. Are you kidding me? I'll eat 2 steaks. I'll order for my friend who didn't manage to show up in time. I'll eat that steak and this steak and drink and then take an Uber home. It didn't exist then, but I will. And then I'll pass out being like, I made the best of it, right? That will happen if she says no. She answers the door and goes, what are you doing? I told you I had an event to go to tonight. And I said, in the sexiest way I could, no you don't. And she went, yes! Yes I fucking do! And I was like, no. No, no, no. Literally no. And then it clicked.
I wonder.
And then, you know what happens when I got in there? You know what happens when I got in there? Not only was she excited, she had a card. I kid you not, a card that had been signed by
Hey, give me that.
the members of Blue Sky Black Death. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. No joke. Blue Sky Black Death. And I went, she probably wanted to go on a date. So it's a good thing I literally have reservations and am wearing a suit and cologne that even I can smell, which is scary if you can smell yourself, because that means people 100 meters away can smell you. That's when I was like, it's okay, I smell too strong. It's okay. It's actually alright that I smell this strongly. It's cool. Veggie Lizzie says, I seriously envy Daynan's ability to tell incredibly long, drawn-out stories like that one. Take any story you got, man. Pick a story, any story. And say it. And then say it again longer. And then say it again longer. And then say it again longer. And just keep, just do this. I was at the cafeteria and a woman got a bowl of mushrooms. Okay? Just take that, right? And just make it longer and longer and longer and longer. You want the story to be huge. Just keep going and stretching and going and like I have a almost 1 hour video that's the story of how I almost died. And you know what that story is? Once upon a time I thought I was having a heart attack and I went to the doctor and I apparently just had heart attack. It's the whole story. I'm trying to turn this into a series of steps in my head, but really I feel like there is a end point that you're trying to get to, which is being able to just listen clearly. And that's if someone you hate is talking to you and telling you pieces of information. You're able to hear things and go, yup, that's a very good point and that's well argued. That is incorrect and I disagree with that. And that analysis is independent of your like or dislike of this person. Or being able to listen to a really good friend and have them say something and for you to go, no, that's inaccurate, that does not make any sense, I do not agree with that. You want to be able to just listen, and to listen really clearly to things. And I think that, you know, by the same token, you want to be able to think your own thoughts and say, that's a good thought and that's a bad thought. Because I think one of the most useful mental models, at least that I've heard, is that you are not your thoughts. You're not. You are not your wishes of what you want to say. You are not your reactions to things. All that's information. The way I like to think of it is that there's a river. And in the river, there's things floating down that river. And those are the thoughts and the emotions and the reactions, and they're just drifting by. And who you are is the person standing at the banks of that river, looking and seeing all the things that are drifting by. Where you can say something like, oh, look at that reaction. I don't agree with that reaction, and you can just let it drift. Or you can say, oh, that's a weird little piece of information. That feels important. You can pluck that up, and you can choose to keep that with you. You are the person who is on that river of your thoughts and feelings and emotions and reactions. Ran out of breath. And you get to choose what to do with those. And I think that as part of that whole process, there's a whole lot of programming that gets put in your brain that you kind of have to unprogram. For instance, in American elementary school, the idea that you are particularly special and your thoughts are exceptional. That's actually not true. Most of the things that you or I think are actually garbage. It's not good. It's not valuable. And one of the ways in which I learned about this is you think you have a really good StarCraft strategy, and there's not a lot of randomness in StarCraft, and you play against someone who's being an asshole to you, and he just crushes you, and he makes fun of you and continues to do so for months, and he's not right, or he's not wrong. He's an asshole, but he's not wrong, right? You have to like cope with that, those sort of feelings, like, oh, Jesus, my thoughts about strategy are not unique and amazing and special, and I'm not one of those amazing people on the whole planet as I was taught in middle school. And similarly, you look up to mentors, or you look up to adults. Like as a kid, I thought that all adults got it. All adults were brilliant and amazing, and they knew how to do anything I would ask them. Like I would go up to random adults at the amusement park and just ask them questions, and they would answer, and I'd be like, right. Adults have authority. That man is balding. He knows things, right? It's just attributed. And then you start to go, wow, no, the wisdom of some people is not there. And there's all things that other people say that are also not brilliant, amazing, and true. They're equivalently just data. I think that in terms of storytelling, that's a very important thing to do. To sit there and to tell yourself your own story. To go through the story, to be talking, and to just feel this is boring, what's being said. And not in a judgmental way. Not, this is boring, I'm a shitty storyteller, this is bad. Just, this is boring. And it needs to be more interesting. Or, ooh, this is going really well, and that's good, and that's exciting. And not to think I'm an amazing storyteller, this is awesome, and to get over-eager and for other new emotions to come in, but just to go, and that's actually doing well. And these are the things that, coming back to how I told the story, this is what I think about storytelling, is that ability to just be talking and not to be applying judgment to what's coming out of your mouth, but to be listening. Just to be, you know, what's coming out of my mouth and what I'm reacting to, what I'm doing, that's some data. And there's Sean who's looking at this, the captain of all this, going, nah, this is boring, let's make this more interesting. Oh, that's good. I'm satisfied with that. And to do it without judgment. And to be able to listen. And one of the greatest ways to do that is to play a whole bunch of StarCraft, where you just get the shit kicked out of you a lot. And the only way that you're actually able to process that and to cope is to start being calmly and supportively self-critical.